YouTube, you are with us first. Anyone that's watching on Cave Crew TV, we are going to go live in about 10 seconds here. Just fixing a few things. Here we go.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of the men.
I say this without being respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of The Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clevin, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball! It's a power goal!
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Yes, it is Cave Crew Cave Crew Radio, ladies and gentlemen. It's not Cave Crew Lady. Here I go again. I've only had one beer. I mean, I think it's better when I have 10. Cave Crew Radio is the name of the show. It is Thursday night live, 9 p.m. Eastern, every Thursday night. My name is DK. I am here from my cave in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. All I can tell you is we've got a massive heat wave. I'm struggling. My pool is still cloudy. It's pissing me off. And I've added all kinds of chemicals. And that's about the most interesting thing I have to start off with this week. So without further ado, I'm going to roll it over to Queens, New York.
And live from Queens, New York, I am Sir Big B. I am quite, I'm a bit under the weather. I'm quite fucking agitated at Windows.
Oh boy.
Fucking Windows.
We're going to get you more agitated in just a little.
I'm sure you are. You love getting me agitated. But yeah, trying to fucking log on to the show tonight. Fucking the last time I shut the computer down, of course Windows has to fucking update. So when I turn it on tonight, of course Windows has to continue updating. Takes a fucking hour for this fucking piece of shit program to update.
Yeah, why don't they get it right the first time?
Oh my fucking! You know what? I got a Mac from work, and I'm playing with. I've always used Windows. I've never really used a Mac, but now that I have one, I'm really getting into it, and I like it so much more. It's so much better.
Yeah,
it's faster. It's more stable. It doesn't fucking update every 12 seconds.
Mac users swear by Mac.
I'm quickly becoming a convert. Mac is really outshining Windows in every aspect of computing right now.
When it comes to what we do here, however, I used to do setups with Brody, and those Mac setups were a fucking nightmare.
Well, that's the thing. I think with Sam, you can't use a Mac, right?
No, and it doesn't have stereo mix, and you gotta download Soundflower, and it's just, to me, it's a pain. I'm just Windows though. You know, I'm an old guy. You know, habits are hard to break.
Yeah, I mean, I've been Windows my whole life. Yeah. Since I've had a computer, I got my first computer back in what, 1994, 5, whatever year it was.
A Pentium 100.
I don't even think I had a Pentium. It was fucking whatever it was back then. So it's always been Windows. But I'm telling you, I recently got a Mac, like a month and a half ago. I got a Mac from work, and I'm really quickly becoming a convert.
Oh, hey. They're expensive too, but
well, the one I got from work is free. So
yeah, well, can you use it for radio though?
I'm contemplating whether or not I can actually use it for this show. I can't use it for the other show because I have to run Sam. But this show, I don't have to run Sam, so I'm contemplating whether or not I can use it. I think I can.
Oh yeah, experiment at our expense. Fucks. Anyway, we got some big news out of England. I'm not talking about the bad type of news. Why don't you carry it on over to London, and I'll get his little tune set up here.
Well, I do believe, as I was talking, I do believe I heard London trying to call in. Is London there?
Gotta find you a new song. That's starting to wear me down.
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen, sorry. This is Choo Choo Stew from London. Not on a Mac, I'm on a PC. Would like to be on a Mac, but they're a little bit pricey.
I'm telling you, you guys might live to regret it.
They do most things for Macs now, so
yeah, that was. I mean, a while ago, Windows had the market on personal computing because Mac was so specialized. If you were in production, audio production, video production, or graphic design, you would use a Mac. Yeah. There was nothing else for Mac. They didn't have programs for Mac. Now everything is on Mac. Anything you can get on Windows, you can get on Mac. It's just that Macs are more expensive by a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Well, you
4 times the amount, really.
Yeah, it's very true. They're like $1,200-$1,500 for a cheap one.
That's a little above my. I just want to get a good Windows gamer PC because I think that'll give us enough power to really roll. I mean, right now I'm running 2 computers and I'm doing all right. So anyway, big news out of London this week. I'm going to pull up another photo, as I like to do here. We've had a lot of bad news out of London the past couple of weeks, including the fire, which it's just terrible. But our very own Choo Choo Stew, if you look up at the screen, if you're watching, if you're listening, we'll explain to you what happened. The Choo Choo Stew recently received a gold award. Go ahead and tell us, Stu, what is this honorary award for? It looks like you even got like a little medal there too.
I got a little pin badge, which I'm very pleased about. No, I just saved someone's life. That was all.
Oh shit! No big deal there.
Wait, you saved someone's life?
Well, you know that I like to do superhero things every now and again. Do you remember the lady's handbag in the pub a few months
back?
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
We do.
No, I drove my train into the platform, and there was a guy standing right on the edge. And to be honest, I didn't really do a lot, but as I went past him, I was thinking he never flinched, and he was standing pretty close. So I thought, anyway, yeah, open the doors, let all the passengers on and off, etc. And it was late at night, so there wasn't many. And I noticed this guy didn't get on, and he didn't really move away or anything. So I just done a radio call, and I said, "Can we get someone down just to check this fella out, make sure he's all right?" And it turned out.
Who would you send down in that? If that happened, would it be like, would you call the ambulance, or do you have internal?
Every station's got like someone in charge of the station there, so they send someone down. And they also, I think there was police about at the time, so the police went down to check him, and it turned out the guy was just out of prison. He was pretty pissed off, and he was about to jump under the next train.
Oh my God!
Right, he was about to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I think that's what he was hoping. It would depend how fast the train was going, Big B.
But you see so many people doing weird things. Most of the time, people don't bother to actually do anything about it because you just get a bit blasé about it, you know. But obviously, I called it in,
and the fact too that he didn't choose your train to jump in front of.
Yeah, you see,
you would have got like 3 years off, probably.
I would have got a few months off. Yeah, I probably would have done. But instead, I got
make fun of that. But it's kind of like a glass half empty, glass half full.
But they were quite good about it. I mean, this happened a couple of weeks ago, but they were quite good about it. Gave me the day off, or they sent me home.
And on that day, you were bitching what a long shift you had.
Yeah, I had a terrible shift as well, I think. So,
saying, oh my God, this is my longest shift of the week. And then the next thing he kind of pings me and says, they sent me home. And at first I thought, oh no, he peed in the jar and failed.
Yeah, I got a cash bonus, a day off work, and a badge and a certificate. Can't be bad.
That's awesome. You know what? Congratulations.
But can you imagine? You got all these firemen going into this burning building, and what do they get? Nothing.
Well, they should all get they should all get badges of honor. But somebody fucked up there for a fridge.
I'm going to send my badge to a fireman. Okay.
Yeah, donate it. That'd be awesome. But listen, and I don't want to talk about that because it's depressing. But for a fridge on fire to light a 40-story building,
yeah,
that's funky.
That's crazy. And really, like, you know, London's on edge as it is, and you know, now you have something like this. This is just an accident, basically.
Yeah,
and it's taking the lives of a shit ton of people. It's crazy what's going on in London right now.
But Stu, wasn't that like a you know, we call it here social housing?
Yeah. I mean,
low income housing.
Yeah, definitely. They were more than likely, you know, council properties or social housing.
We call them the projects here.
And the reason that, I don't know if you've heard about, there's a rumor going around, they're saying that all this cladding that they had around the building was to basically help the fire spread all the way up the building. And the only reason that cladding was there in the first place because you've got like £1 million houses around that area where people have moved in and the prices have gone up, etc. So these people in £1 million houses, they have complained that this tower block is an eyesore. So that is why they covered it up to make it look pretty.
So we got another what do you call conspiracy theory on our heads.
Well, it's funny that Stu says that because I saw a clip of, I guess, somebody that lives in that building, a young kid, no more than 20, 22 years old. And he was going on about how this is a conspiracy because, exactly like you said, I guess the rich people live in the surrounding area.
Yeah.
And this was done, as he put it, this was done on purpose to get rid of everybody that lives in that building so they can tear it down and build, you know, continue to build the fancy houses and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a wild idea, that, but
no, absolutely, I agree 100%. That's completely outlandish, but that's the clip I saw, that the conspiracy theory is already starting over there.
Yeah. There's a lot of anger now. I mean, obviously people are very upset, but there's a hell of a lot of anger.
Everybody's pointing fingers. See, that's where the trouble begins.
Yeah.
You know, he thinks it's just like that shooting, Big B. Again, I don't want to be all political here, folks. We're just shooting the shit for a few minutes, but even that shooting
started on that.
Yeah. First thing, terrorist. Crazy.
Well, it was
a Bernie Sanders supporter.
Yeah, as they call it, a domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
But you know, and like you said, you know, you don't want to go down that hole of political talk. But you know, it's funny when that happened. Anytime somebody gets shot or whatever, all the left is immediately calling for gun control, more gun control laws, this and that. Yeah. As soon as they found out it was a Bernie Sanders supporter and a leftist himself, everybody was silent.
Oh, gee.
Not one lefty said anything about gun control. And
that'll shut you up in a real hurry.
Oh, it's you know, they don't want to, you know, they, God forbid, they should look in on themselves because they're the ones that caused that to begin with all their bullshit in the media and the celebrities, you know, threatening to, you know, pretending to behead Trump and kill his family and all this stuff. They're just feeding into this. But, you know, of course, it's not their fault.
And I've said it before, I think, but we don't have a gun problem really over here. Obviously, we have guns, but they're everywhere. But instead of controlling the guns, control the mental health.
Yeah, agreed.
Anyway, let's move on here. We have so much. Stu has been up to so much. Do you have any stories, Big B, besides you're mad at Windows?
No, just been a bit under the weather. So I saw your video, your pre-show video, and the drinking. The 3 weeks of drinking has stopped this week.
No, mind you, the last time you had bronchitis, did the doctor not tell you were supposed to drink scotch?
Yes. Doctor told me to take a shot, but I didn't have bronchitis this time. I had a bad migraine, and we got a stomach issue going on. So there's a whole bunch of little stuff.
Vodka. Maybe vodka is the answer to this one.
I don't drink vodka.
Whiskey,
bourbon. We're up to 10 bottles now.
Oh my God. We're keeping count, folks, since the beginning of the year.
10 bottles
on Metal Thunder Radio.
Yes,
he has taken a few little timbits on our show as well. And I'm sure if he's having a bad day with the wife or a bad night with the wife, he'll sneak down into the studio and pour a little bit out of that Skull decanter.
Oh, you have to.
Just to calm his nerves down. We all do that.
I think you should have a few more scotches and whiskies and call in sick tomorrow. Just spend.
Hey, and a hot toddy, old Irish ailment.
That's right.
Tea, whiskey, and either lemon or honey.
Whiskey, yep.
Beautiful.
I prefer lemon myself. I'm not a sugary kind of guy. But that suits you, Stu. Before we go to your next story, show Big B what you brought. And again, all the listeners watching will see this, but we'll explain it to you if you're listening on there.
I got to pull up Stu's cam.
No, these aren't brand. These are cheap brand ones, yeah. But I know.
Oh, there you go.
Well, you mentioned it before.
The salt your own chips.
Your own chips.
That's great.
I still think, here's an example, Big B. When I go, I've admitted that I'm a salt addict. Some people sit there and go, "Oh my God, there's a chocolate cake or something." Stu, that's going to be very loud for on air.
Sorry, I'm gonna.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I going to tell you? Oh, when I go to the show, I kind of have my own popcorn because I'm like a butter craze and a salt craze.
Right.
Is that the bag of fucking salt inside the chips?
He muted himself, so
okay.
Bag didn't make noise. But I mean, if you have to salt your own chips, and there's the salt bag.
It's like a bottle of Coke or a little packet of Coke.
It looks like a little thing of cocaine. It's exactly what it looks like. But who doesn't? Out of everybody that buys the salt your own chips bag, who doesn't use the whole bag of salt? Is there a person out there that takes a pinch out and sprinkles it in the bag? No. You open the bag of salt and you dump it in. And then you close the bag, you close the potato chips, and you shake it all around.
I think most people just throw it away.
Oh, God, no. Then just buy low sodium. But I just, that company is smart because now they only have to have one brand of chips. If you don't want the salt, don't put it on.
See, I would throw it personally.
You don't use it.
No.
So you like bland?
Well, I don't
chips.
really eat them. They're my boy eats them.
I think my wife has been doing a lot of reading or something because lately, and she bought me this damn salt grinder. So it makes a little bit of noise when you put the sea salt in and you grind the salt, which has got to be a healthier salt. But anyway, that's enough salt, Kenneth. I get that every time because no matter what people cook, I always say it needs a little bit more salt and pepper. Nothing against the food. I eat it all, but a restaurant, the first thing my wife will do, we were at a restaurant a couple of weeks ago. We were out of town and immediately we're having breakfast, eggs and toast and hash browns and all the shit. And she places the salt to my right hand side. Well, I'm bad with sugar. I can walk. You bring out a Halloween candy bar, shit like that. I might have one, but I don't go all cuckoo over it.
Who was the dude that we had? Steve Cooper?
Oh yeah, the Coop. with his book.
salt book. Yeah.
I told him then I wouldn't be able to follow. I would make the recipe, and I'm sure it's delicious. But guess what I'd add? Salt. At the end of I'll buy your book and I'll cook every fucking recipe, but I'm adding salt. and I might have some deficiency. Like people say, oh, it might be your thyroid, or everyone has an opinion on everything. But I feel healthy. I like salt. I crave it like a drug addict. Nice pouch of cocaine you got there, Stu. I would pay you big money on eBay for that pouch of salt.
I think what we really need is we have to get some money together, PayPal it over to Stu, so we can get a UK care package with stuff like the salt your own chips and whatever else he can send over. We have to do this.
What's those other things you eat? Those bacon skins?
Oh, is that pork scratchings?
Yeah,
pork scratchings. Yeah.
You can leave the eels out of my pack if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I don't want eels. But yeah, like the salt your own chips, the fucking pork scratchings, maybe something from the allotment.
Yeah. My pickled onions.
Yeah, the pickled.
Yes.
So here's our new thing. We need to raise enough money here, folks. For Brian and I, maybe one lucky winner. It'll be like selling lottery tickets.
There you go.
So everybody send us $5. The guarantee is Big B and I will get a package because we have to open it on air. Right. and test everything. Right. But one lucky viewer, every time one ticket for $5, 3 for 15, or 3 for 10. You got to make it a deal.
Okay.
And we'll enter you in a draw, and we'll all get but you're gonna have to put some of this shit on dry ice, like fish and chips and Cornish cheese, kidney pie. Make sure you put in some of that good beer too.
Yeah, we've got plenty of that.
So we're also gonna have to pay Choo Choo Stew's fucking grocery bill.
Well, that's what I said. We gotta get money together, PayPal it over to Stu, so he can go buy the stuff and ship it to us.
Because he's not going to be able to get a local shipper like he did with the glass, the mugs.
No. He'd have to ship it to us. So we got to pay, get the money together, and like you said, one lucky listener will get a care package themselves. So 3 care packages will go out: one to me, one to DK, and one to a lucky listener.
And ours is just because almost like a press pass. Like we have to.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because we have to represent Canada, the United States, and try this stuff on air. Right. And if this takes off, folks, we'll do one from every country, and we'll send to each other so we can sample. Because even in Canada and the U.S., we have different things. Like I could send you guys bagged milk.
Right.
We've stopped doing that over here now.
I could send you Tim Hortons coffee.
We actually have Tim Hortons over here.
Yeah, but it's not the same. How about poutine?
No, we do not have poutine.
You could send us all Coney dogs.
That's true. We could.
I like that idea. So one lucky listener, you could win the Canada package, you could win the United States package, or you could win the England package. And each one includes, a special beer and liqueur in it. So you have to be 18 years of age to enter, or 19, I guess. 21.
21 in the U.S.
Yeah, 21 in the U.S. So I'll make it 21 across the board. And anyway, Big B and I will get our care packages, or whoever the 2 hosts that are providing will get their care packages, and one lucky listener. $5 a ticket, 3 for 10. I'll post the PayPal in the show notes. We'll get this rolling. It's barbecue season. We got to get some good whatever they eat over there.
Like you said, I could give you some Nathan's hot dogs from Coney Island. I can give you some nice New York pizza.
Yes, we've got pretty good pizza here too, though. So we can do that too. We can have
do not stop it.
We could do. We could really expand this. This could grow beyond the fidget spinner. One lucky winner.
Pie and mash with a green sauce.
No, I don't want the.
We don't want any of that gross shit.
God damn it! What did I call that with the meat and the potatoes and the peas and carrots in it? It's all mixed together. Shepherd's pie.
Oh, that'd be. My wife makes shepherd's pie. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you got to send some shepherd's pie.
Pasties. Anyway, while we're on the topic of food, let's go back over to I need to go to my cam for a sec here. And we got a party going on down here.
Yeah, you've got a lot of traffic going through.
Yes, I don't like it on show night. Anyway, I want to go to a couple pictures here, Stu. First of all, you explained to us last week, you go roadside and you get these benches and stuff like, all these fine furniture items that you fix up and either put in the garden or send to the allotment, right?
Yeah.
And then you send me a picture and say, this is where I shop. Do you have any of these in Canada? Look at this, Big B. It's a fucking, who takes furniture out of a fucking dumpster?
It's a dumpster. This is where I shop.
He sent me dumpster in Canada. Yeah, that usually there's garbage from a restaurant.
Right.
Look what is in that bag on top there.
That looks like an old cement bag.
Yeah, cement bag. I mean, that is not a good example. Shopping one of those.
It looks like a blonde woman's body in there. Her head's in the bag. And then her torso's over here. You can see the blood. And you take furniture. Oh, yeah. So you sand it down and refinish it. That makes it all fun. I bet you could build a fucking deck for your allotment out of that little plank there.
Well, see that pallet? The pallets are they're really good. You can make anything out of them.
Do you sit there and go through each bag that's in there?
You're joking me, right?
I wouldn't get anything out of that, but I do drive by these, we call them skips, but I do drive by very slowly and maybe turn around and go back again if I've seen anything.
I'm not going to say that, when we drive down the street, everyone does it. You put an old table out, or you put an old barbecue out, or you put whatever. It's junk to you. Right. Or garage sales. Do you have garage sales, Big B?
We have, we used to have on this block a block sale. All the houses would come out and sell some shit and advertise it in the local paper and whatnot.
Sometimes there's a cool tool or something that you want to buy. Oh wow, I've wanted a round saw. This one's $15. Probably works fine.
Big B lives in a posh area. They don't have garage sales. Lower the tone.
I'm somewhere in the middle because I don't go garbage bin diving.
See, I think
wasted and looking for a place to sleep.
I think, and Stu, please answer me honestly. I know we see that room that you're in, and it looks fine. Are you a fucking hoarder?
The whole top floor, his attic is probably filled with.
It's just filled with shit that he picks up on a daily basis from other people's garbage.
Oh,
no.
He goes down even when he's in the fucking subway. He's picking stuff up that's left behind. Stuff that's left on the benches and whatnot. He's a fucking hoarder.
And I never know what to make of him because he jokes about those plants that he made and shit. And anyway, so I'm wondering one of two things here. Here, let's go over to this picture here now. Let's see if I zoom it in a little bit.
What the fuck is that?
Okay, well
that's the burning heap.
Yeah, that's the burning heap from the allotment.
That's me old bench.
Oh, so the one that you got out of the garbage bin replaced this one.
Yeah.
So you put that bench in the burning heap.
So instead of giving back to someone by putting it at the side of the road or in you burned it where they make compost.
Yeah, no, that was beyond repair. It's rotten. It was.
And what's around it? What is that?
It's like a metal frame.
A metal frame.
I actually trespassed to put that there.
I didn't. You know what? I feel bad now because I didn't get that sign that you sent me. I wonder if I have it. Hang on.
Yeah, I actually I had to cross a barrier to get to that burning bit, and I read the sign and it says, "If you've got anything to be burnt, leave it on your plot and we'll pick it up." But I've just dumped it there.
Is this it here?
Yeah, but read that. Look,
it says metal, which is spelt wrong.
That's like you meddling kids. That's
metal from the fire area and plastic from the fire area.
So, well, obviously you're not supposed to put fucking plastic and metal in a campfire. I can see the bench. It maybe has a few nails in it, but
yeah.
But anyway, Stu sent me this sign, and I didn't download that one because I didn't put 2 and 2 together. But where he brought that bench said restricted area. This is at the allotment, folks. Restricted area. Only authorized. So who is authorized? Is there a certain plot number, or who is?
I don't know.
Who is the grandfather? Who is the godfather of the allotment garbage area?
See, the guy that runs it is a control freak, so he's the only one that's got the master key to get the lawnmowers out and stuff like that. I mean, I texted him today. I said I might pop over and use the lawnmower. He said, no, I won't be there till Saturday, and no one else has got the key.
I still find it very hard to believe that you guys mow the lawn at your gardens.
Well,
still can't get
my
over
question. Because anytime I've seen a picture of the actual allotment itself, there's a lot of dead areas where there's just dirt patches or there's overgrown grass. Who does what at this allotment? Because allotments are for growing and maintaining things, but there's dead areas and overgrown grass.
No, that they look dead areas at certain times of year, but come this time of year, everything's taking shape, you know.
Anyway, that sign, I've got to find it. Hopefully, I'll find it before the end of the show. It looks like the do not enter signs were made with Fisher Price baby gates.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder Stu had no problem with a heavy bench getting it through the door. Obviously, it was not barbed wire or, over here, Stu. Well, a lot of things when we have, problems with security, we now have security cameras and alarms. Like every time there's a break-in at a convenience store, the first thing comes up on, you follow your local news on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and it comes out. Do you know this person? And there's a freaking HD 1070 shot of them.
No, we've got no CCTV there, and just plastic fences.
And
that was taken from other people's garbage, I'm sure.
I bet you that's a common thing over there. All right, I have one more picture here to close out our allotment segment. Oh God, forget the commercial this week, folks.
Oh, look at this!
Overboard.
Look at this.
Choo Choo Stew. Let me pull this up for the main camera. Choo Choo Stew, again, notified me. He was building a scarecrow. This is the scarecrow that Choo Choo Stew. And what are you scaring? Because do you have crows? Is that the...
Well, we're scaring the birds away.
But do you have crows? Isn't that normally what a scarecrow is?
Yeah. Crows and other birds as well.
Now that doesn't look like you use straw. Looks like you probably picked up something from the garbage bin and shoved sticks in there. He's got duct tape around the. What's he holding? A hockey stick?
That's the British flag. It looks
That's
like
the flag.
Oh no! On the other hand, what's that white thing coming down there?
Oh, that's in my wood pile behind him.
Oh, okay. Looks like he's holding a hockey stick or something. But I mean, what a scary. He's got sunglasses. He's got Choo Choo Sue's hair on. Choo Choo Sue has been crucified. I just realized that. Now that I'm looking at the picture, the dog looks like, what the fuck is this thing? I could imagine your place on Halloween. And that hat and scarf must be expensive.
The scarf is a flag.
Oh, okay. Now, did you leave it like that, or that's just how you sent us?
No, I left it like that, more or less.
It does look pretty scary. It looks like a transvestite prison inmate that escaped.
It's all a bit of fun. We're hoping to win.
You're not going to tell me there's a fucking scarecrow contest now.
There is. There is a scarecrow contest and a plot contest, and I think I've said before, we won best newcomer last year. I think it was, or the year before. I can't remember now. So we're hoping for big things this year.
And you have potlucks.
There is an award ceremony. I have to add, there will be an award ceremony coming up very soon.
I think if we go visit Big B, we have to go during the season where the allotment is in full bloom.
Oh, absolutely. That's the first place I want to go see if I go visit Stu. I go to Stu's house, say hi, take me to the fucking allotment, please.
Yeah, fuck Big Ben. Fuck the
shit about seeing a big fucking clock. Who cares? I want to go see the allotment.
Yeah, we'll see the changing of the guards if time permits.
If time permits, exactly.
Oh, Lord. So anyway, I got to apologize before we go any further. I didn't notice the time. I thought really we had nothing to talk about, but I look up and it's 10 minutes past break time. So I'll simply just tell you that you are listening to Cave Crew Radio here on cavecrewradio.com live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And it is available on download on Stitcher and iTunes and Google Play, or Apple Podcasts, whatever they call all those things, wherever good podcasts are found. And also on YouTube. And we have our lovely, lovely Facebook group that is over 1,500 members now. And we have a ball in there. We have a good time. Stu, nothing else from the allotment or running that you haven't noticed anything else at the side of the road before we move on?
No, I haven't picked up anything else this week.
All right, we're going to move into a new segment here, folks. It's called Irritate Big B.
Yay me.
So I'm going to cue up some audio here. We're going to turn this over to my camera again because I have some video. It probably won't be in sync because the audio and the video is separate. But let's see here. Let's start to pull this up on this camera over here. And let's see if we can't get Big B going crazy here. So here's what we got on camera for you folks. We have an announcement of a major new
no
work.
Hey everyone, Alice Cardinelli here. I am very excited to share the awesome news with you. On July 3rd, 2017, I am launching a podcast called AC Network. AC stands for Alex Cardinelli. I am starting over in the podcast world, and I am creating a new image for myself in the podcast world. Ladies and gentlemen, on AC Network, you can expect some tropical fish shows, some cooking shows, and some wrestling shows. All topics that I am really passionate about and very, very excited to share my passion with you, my audience. AC Network will air exclusively on Buzzsprout starting July 3rd. I will have more information available for you guys. I cannot wait to debut AC Network on Buzzsprout July 3rd. For more information, please check out our Facebook page, AC Network /Alex Cardinelli.
Okay.
Dying of fire.
Okay. Enough's enough. Get that guy off our screen. Oh, he really gets passionate. Oh, he's got the finger pointing now.
How the fuck does he say that he's doing something new and he's going to do a fish show and a cooking show and a rest? That's all he ever fucking does.
Well, exactly. He always reinvigorates himself.
I'm going to do something new, something nobody's ever. Here's a fish show. I've done a fish show.
Don't you remember? Speaking of which, folks, I have my Metal Thunder Radio shirt on tonight. By the way, folks, Metal Thunder Radio. Let me stand up a little bit here. There you can see it. Metal Thunder Radio. Wearing it proud and loud. Got my Choo Choo Stew, limited edition, collectible mug, always with me as well. But Metal Thunder Radio, which airs Tuesday nights at 9:00 on Nuclear Rock Radio. Did I get that right?
Metal World Radio.
Metal World Radio. Okay, see, that's the old one. Never remember that. But anyway, it used to be on All Radio X, which is where we used to be as well. And the tell them the straw that broke the camel's back. Big B.
Well, we were on All Radio X, and All Radio X was starting to go down. It was starting to crumble. The writing was on the wall.
That military shit.
Yeah, it was that vet radio thing, whatever. Brody thought they were the ticket out, and turns out they weren't. Shows were starting to leave. I think I'm not even sure if you were still on at that point.
It was pissing everybody. I mean, the first one to go was that Midnight Horror Show, which
Midnight Horror Show, right?
Great bunch of guys. I don't know if they still do the show or not, but Danny and Mark and Dr. Dork. But they were, and you know as well as me, when you team with another, like, it's nice to have back-to-back shows because they'll gain some of our listeners, we gain some of theirs. You know what I mean?
Right.
One or two might stick around, and that's how you and I met, right?
Yeah.
We heard the show.
Absolutely.
But it was nice to have them. So the horror show was on first, and then I'd come on with Double Talk Radio. Then.
Right.
Anyway, they came on, and these vet people and insulted them. And anyway, but let's get back to the Alex thing.
So I was on Tuesday nights at that point. And when we first got on, we had a show, a music show, a couple of music shows on before us, one after us. It was really great. We were going, all promoting each other and going in. Little by little, those shows dropped off, so it was just us on Tuesdays. Nobody before us, nobody after us. So Brody comes in and says, "I got great news for you. I got a show that's going to be on before you. They're going to lead up right into your show. It's great. You're going to love it. It's a fish keeping show."
Now listen, let's not mock fish keeping for a minute here.
No, let's mock fish keeping. Fuck fish.
Listen, if a fish keeping show, like let's say me, you, and Stu did a fish keeping show, we could have some fun with it. I
think it was a bit of a palate cleanser.
But anyway, I think it was the total personality of the host as well.
Oh my fucking God. He was making this out to be like this greatest thing ever. It's a fish keeping show. Now, trying to be, Brody's a nice guy, and, we were on All Radio X, and I didn't fly off the handle immediately. I said, aha, okay. My friend requested our pal, Alex Cardinelli.
You friend requested him first?
I think so. Because I'm looking at it as, I didn't know him at the time. I'm looking at it as, all right, this dude's going to be on before us. We can cross promote. We'll get to know each other. And, blah, blah, blah.
Hang out.
Holy shit.
Have a little.
I didn't know he was a fucking retard. So he gets on, and I'm listening to his first show. Coming on before us. I was like, all right, let me listen to see how this is. Hi, everybody. This is Alex Cardinelli with the fish keeping. Today, I did a quarter water transfer, and my one fish is 8 inches longer than the other one, and I wanted to fucking blow my own head off. I want to tear my ears off so I can stop listening to this horrible drivel. And this motherfucker had the nerve to say that he had 1 million listeners. He said he had 1 million. He had fucking one listener, fucking Jeremy Stellhorn. That fucking. That's all he had. Holy shit!
You were listening. If you know all this stuff,
of course I was. They were on right before us. I was like, all right, I'm trying to be respectful. I listened to the show. I said, Brody, I'm done. I gotta fucking leave. I can't do this.
And then what happens is the guy doesn't pay his bill and leaves like a week after you.
Well, yeah, I saw that he went to Blog Talk Radio, whatever the fuck he was, and took Brody completely by surprise.
Yeah, Anyway, we don't mean to pick on Brody. He was a good guy, and
no, Brody's a great guy. I never once had a problem with Brody, but just the way he put it, that it was gonna the grandiose great show on before us about fish keeping.
It does go to show you, though, that, what appears to be, don't always take the easy way out is what I'm saying about bringing these military. And listen, we got nothing against military. We respect them and love them. I'm a veteran myself. But, thinking, pushing your bread and butter aside because you're not making millions of bucks yet.
Right.
And it took a lot of work to build the shows we had.
Right. And at the time on All Radio X, your show was the premier show. Double Talk Radio was the premier show on All Radio X. We were still new at the time. Your show was the show.
Yeah, we were, I think, the very first show that, because I knew Brody, because he used to do a show. And anyway, it's neither here nor there. Listen, let's go to the chat room for a second. Hello to the people streaming. We can't see you if you're not in the chat room, but a big hello to you anyway, or those of you listening on download. But Stu, we got, well, of course, we have Al, our loyal friend Al, and Mama Kate.
Mama Kate's in the house.
Do I recognize that name from the We Don't Have Cookies?
That's right. Yeah, it's Mama Kate comedy.
Well, then we're gonna have to get. I mean, we've had Jason on twice, so we're gonna need to. You're the only one. I followed her on Twitter today. By the way, Mama Kate, I saw you and Choo Choo Stu going back and forth. Haven't heard the show yet, but we've had Jason on twice, so you're gonna have to arrange that we get Mama Kate on the show. And then don't be afraid. It's three men. I mean, but with a name like Mama Kate, she can probably stick up for herself.
She can well handle herself.
Yeah, sounds like a gangster name out of the 30s or something.
Are you booked to be on We Don't Have Cookies there, DK?
Am I booked?
Yeah.
No.
All right, great. I have an opportunity then. Let me contact them real quick.
See, Mama Kate, what you don't understand is I'll go on one show and Big B's got to go on three just to fucking top me.
I've been on one other show.
Did Mama Kate follow you back, by the way?
I don't think she did.
That's a cheek.
I'll have to check my Twitter, but I don't think it is
She's
said
not
that
following Twitter etiquette. Or
I read something about this Twitter etiquette, and it was kind of like a test. So I saw that, and of course, I recognized Mama Kate, and I said, and then you got a sexy, good-looking guy like me who wouldn't follow back. Maybe she thought it was a spam account or something. But anyway, Mama Kate, we're gonna get in touch with you and have you on the show. I know Jason had a ball. We can use him as a reference. Came on 2 weeks in a row. I didn't think he was ever going to go home. No, Jason is a great guy. And I can't wait to listen to the show and hear you completely destroy Choo Choo Stu. You might want that pink hair back, Stu.
I'm not going to say anything about that. You'll have to listen to her show.
Stu, how's the podcast train coming? I noticed I haven't been a guest on the podcast train, but DK is.
The wheels have come off at the moment. I'm just
the train's in the station.
It's gonna get going again soon.
Or this is gonna be another one of those weeks I have a hard time naming the show.
I'm just waiting for Alex Cardinal to get back to me to agree to come on.
You could have Big B. You could have Jerry. I'm sure Mama Kate would come on.
Can you?
How many downloads did I get, by the way? You never reported that back to me.
Tell him none.
Probably. That's one more than I get on this show.
It's gone into minus figures on your one.
All right, there's a couple stories I want to get to, boys. All fun and games. To Mike Jolitz, if you're listening, I didn't see him in chat, but he said he'd be listening. I know you can log in and not log into chat. So anyway, I wanted to talk about the story I read from, and this is not Florida this time. This is Disneyland. So this would be where? Anaheim, California? Somewhere around there.
Yeah, Disney World is Florida, Disneyland is California.
Right. So apparently there was a hazmat crew called to Disneyland after geese poop on the guests.
Nice.
Apparently Disneyland wasn't so magical for a group of unsuspecting park goers visiting the park on Friday. Yes, it did say Anaheim. A strange incident occurred at the Anaheim, California theme park when a flock of geese flying overhead pooped on 11 adults and 6 children near the Sleeping Beauty Castle during the parade.
Nice.
Here you are in this magical place. Once in a lifetime vacation. That must have been a big flock of geese to hit that many people.
Do you think they was on the payroll, those geese?
Local police were called. Geese just shit. What are the police gonna do?
Shoot at the geese.
And they also called in a hazmat crew.
I don't think we need a hazmat crew either. Everybody has been shit on by a bird. You don't need a hazmat crew to clean it up.
I think I got to follow these guys too. Anaheim PD, at Anaheim PD. Here's what they tweeted. With at Anaheim fire at Disney, no crime occurred. Guests hit with fecal matter. Appears to be geese flew over. No injuries.
Well, thank God there's no injuries.
Yeah, just fucking botulism or something.
Can you imagine somebody loses their eye from fucking geese shit? Fucking, he's in the hospital. Some other dude comes up. What happened? Like knife fight? What happened? Goose poop. What is wrong with you?
You know, I guess when they say, "Well, the bird of happiness," shit on your window. That's like winning the Lotto Max or whatever you guys call it over there. Anyway, the guests were allowed to clean up in private restrooms and were given a change of clothes before returning to the park. So they all got free fucking souvenirs out of the deal. They all got Mickey Mouse sweaters and freaking Elsa pants.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Officials assured everyone that no one was hurt and all guests involved were happy and healthy. I bet they went on a small world after that.
If they're happy and healthy, why do they fucking call a hazmat crew in?
I don't think
fucking plutonium was let loose in fucking Disneyland.
I don't think it was a guess. It was probably Goofy or something, ran. Oh, Mickey, what do we do, Mickey?
Who was that?
Donald Duck. I don't know.
Oh, I loved DK's impressions.
That was kind of like I'm not a comic. I'm a.
Can you do Goofy again, please?
Would you? I don't know, Mickey. What do you think we should do?
I like the head nodding.
It's great.
And the first time he had some hand action going as well.
Oh yeah, that was it. It was like,
and don't forget about that. Who's the big fat bear? Did somebody say honey?
Oh, I don't know who's on. Walt Disney or DK? Who is it? Who's doing that?
And there were some really good tweets. Just to add to this, this Chris guy on Twitter tweeted back to Anaheim PD and Anaheim Fire and said, "So no foul play was suspected, as foul is an FOWL." Oh Lord. And then this Laura girl tweets at Anaheim PD at Anaheim Fire, the crappiest place on earth, as opposed to the happiest place on earth. And who mans the Twitter for the Anaheim Police Department and the Anaheim Fire? Who the fuck? Couldn't we not use one more person on patrol than someone sitting at a laptop tweeting about fecal matter? What did people originally think? It was the fucking Japanese were bombing them?
They lost their mind and thought it was fucking Pearl Harbor all over again.
A pellet gun. Somebody went crazy with those potato guns they used to have when we were kids.
Yep.
Maybe someone had a potato gun and filled it with fecal matter, and they're more. Who would Disney's competition be? Maybe they were like Marvel supporters. And they infiltrated. They had a big thing of geese that they got from Canada, and
just fucking Thor and Captain America were throwing feces on everybody.
Right, and they sent like a running rabbit or something for the geese to like an electronic rabbit, like they do at the dog races, and The geese all flew, and immediately when they found a packed crowd, they wouldn't do it down on Happiness Avenue where nobody was, because everyone's down watching the parade. They said, there's a lot of fucking humans. Those bastards, let's shit on them. And they all shit simultaneously, and they say the birds are not intelligent animals. Like, obviously, if 11 people were hit, that's not one fucking little bird.
Right.
They probably shared that shit around and just smeared it all over them. I think we're going to get something out of this.
How do the birds communicate to each other and say, let's shit now?
Well, it's probably their shiny raincoats or whatever they were wearing, wasn't it? That they wear on the water.
I don't know what bird toilets look like, so
What shiny raincoats?
Well, don't you wear, probably, do you know when you go on those water
Falls, Stu?
Yeah, but we wear at our theme parks, when you go on the water rides.
You're talking about like a poncho?
Yeah, yeah.
You wear a poncho on the water rides?
So you don't get wet.
Isn't that the point of a water ride? That's why it's called a water ride.
That's
to get wet.
Water ride.
Otherwise, it would be a dry ride.
Yeah, but over here, if you get wet, you'll end up with a pneumonia or something. So we wear ponchos, unless it's a rare
900 days a year there. Getting wet is second nature to you guys.
When you guys take a shower, do you have suits that you put on?
They have protective, like scuba gear when they go take a shower.
They sell ponchos on the, from a little machine.
Well, listen, I've had a poncho like at the zoo before if it was raining. I walked around with my little zebra poncho that I paid $20 for. It was worth like 50 cents.
Yeah, I see people, tourists here in the city. They have ponchos from like the bus tours. They wear the ponchos if it's raining.
Yeah.
And when you go, there's a boat ride you go on in Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls, Canada. It's called the Maid of the Mist.
Oh yeah, and everybody wears a poncho on.
Everyone wears it, and it's it's more like you give it back. It's like a raincoat. At least
right.
I don't know if they might have went disposable now, but a fucking I'm going on the log ride, hon. Get me a poncho. I don't want the camera lens to get wet.
I'm going on a ride called the Massive Waterfall of Wetness. I gotta wear a raincoat to make sure I don't get wet on the Massive Waterfall of Wetness.
Yeah. Answer me this, Stu. So, like in England, when you go on a roller coaster, do you have did they give you parachutes that slows down the ride? So when you're going down the hill, you put these parachutes, everyone's got one, and oh, yeah, this is much better. I don't want to lose my stomach on this ride.
Do you know there's like that thing called, I think it's called the Lazy River. It's like these huge sort of round boats, like meant to be like tires, and you got about 4.
Those are called inner tubes, Stu. They're not boats.
No, they're boats. There's seats inside. You get and it sort of just slowly goes down this thing. Well, someone died on it a few weeks ago. Someone fell out.
What did they do? Suffocate on their poncho?
Yeah, someone died on it. So
I mean, if you're gonna fall out of a lazy river, you pretty much got to stand up and hit your head on something. Like the water's what, 2 feet deep?
Yeah, there's an inquiry going on about how it was only a young girl as well, bless her. But
and even so, a poncho's not going to save you. If you fall out of a boat and drown, a poncho's not going to stop that from happening.
Yes, I think if I went on a water ride and I was really scared, instead of getting worried about getting wet, I'd wear a life jacket.
A life jacket, exactly.
Yeah, I said the last time I went to one of these rides, I took my own poncho. I bought it before I went.
Better quality, even drier when he gets off the water ride.
And do you have these? Do you know what they've got outside the water rides? It's like a walk-in hairdryer.
Those I've seen. I saw those at Universal Studios. Those I've seen where you can dry off.
You dry off, yeah, because you don't want to walk around soaking wet all day.
Fucking degrees out. You want to be wet.
Yeah. No, but
let's go on the water ride. I want to cool off. Not like, exactly. I'm worried about my hair. What about my makeup? I don't know. Oh, that was funny. Stu, you always bring light to stories. Let's see which other one I can bring up here. Oh, still in the fidget spinners, guys. Big B brought one out on camera the other week. Stu says his boy has one. I've got. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go over to Big B camera here. He still has one. My son has one. Now it's a competition. There's Batman ones. There's ones that are like rainbows. There's supersonic ones. You know, they're making this is the hottest thing since frickin' Skylanders.
This one is a skull and crossbones one.
My God, baby, do you hunt Pokemons too?
I do not.
Okay.
I didn't buy this either, just so you know.
Okay, just a viewer sent it in the mail to you.
No, actually, my mother bought it for me. I don't know why.
You've got the coolest mother of all.
She working from home the other day. My son comes home from school, hands me this, and that's a package for you. Okay, I open it up. It's this. Oh, grandma ordered that for you. Okay.
So she realizes you're an accountant. She could buy you a calculator or something. She still thinks with that long hair that you have failed.
I guess I'm a failure in everybody's eyes.
Not in our eyes, Big B. Not in our eyes.
Because we're all human pieces of trash. That's why.
You know, and someone quoted, and I never thought about this before because Big B and I have talked before about the origins of the show and stuff, so we're not going to get into it, but it's supposed to be a sports show.
Basically.
And somehow it turned into this, and one of our listeners in the Cave Crew Facebook group posted a show about nothing, but look at Seinfeld. It was a show about nothing, and look how well it did.
That's true. They became millionaires.
What are we really about? I guess there is really no clear direction because at any time we can take a hard right turn and we can go from A to Z.
But that's the good thing about this show. We're not tied down to a subject. We don't have to sit here and talk sports all the time or politics or news, current events. We can just go wherever the fuck we want to go. And my favorite segment is allotment news.
And not just you. Mike Jolitz, another listener, has his own show as well, but avid supporter of the show. Is there going to be an allotment segment? Yes. You should see me during the week. I'm looking for stories, and I'm like, Stu, have you been to the fucking allotment yet? We need some shit for this week, or it's going to be dead air for an hour and a half. We're going to sit here and talk about our children and bore everyone to shit.
There's nothing better than allotment news.
Usually people brag about their children. Our children go to school and talk about how cool their dads are. They have this show. I don't know if you heard her, but my wife came down to say hi when they got back. And she's like, I don't like this new show you got with all the swearing. She was standing here when we were talking about Stu in the dumpster, and she was peeing herself. Well, don't tell me we're not fucking funny.
If we're anything, we're funny.
We sure laugh at ourselves a lot. Anyway, what you see is what you get with us kids. So over to the fidget spinners, which Big B showed us a couple, and Stu says his boy has one. My boy has one, and I'm still waiting for one to come from China. But this is the new collector's item. But there are people that are going to get adventurous when we start getting into this stuff. And this goes to Canada. We're nowhere near Florida tonight. I feel bad for Florida right now. A woman in Edmonton, folks, which is on the West Coast, very far away from me. They're like cowboy people. An Edmonton woman now requires surgery. I'm going to leave this up to your imagination before we start reading. After a fidget spinner became lodged in her vagina.
Aha.
This is from the Weekend Herald.
It was lodged in there, meaning it was stuck. It couldn't be removed by all standard means of removing things.
So now before we even go into the story, the first thing that comes to my mind, because now, you know, Stu is the big lifesaver. I would tell the woman to start jumping up and down, maybe get that thing spinning. But you're hoping it could go in the wrong direction.
It might be only span one way.
I don't. I haven't even touched the thing. I think I spun it once. Now they do tricks, and Anyway, you would think that this is like an older woman who's starving for sex or something, right? This was a 24-year-old Edmonton in Canada, Alberta province. She was rushed to the hospital after the fidget spinner became stuck in her vagina. Surgeons were forced to operate on the woman to remove the device, which became stuck after she used it in an attempt to pleasure herself. Again, folks, some things we can't put on video. Some things are just better for radio. So I'm imagining she's spinning it on her thumb or whatever finger you do, and she's probably trying to pluck her clitoris or something.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out the logistics. Okay, I'm with you. She's spinning it on her clit. I get you.
I've watched my son because, like, if you're spinning it, sometimes it'll fly. But I really don't. She must have had a really baggy vagina. I don't think they go that fast. Unless she was trying to pleasure herself in another way, like she had a stick and she kept pushing it up further and further. I
don't
know. According to the local medical reports, the woman had been introduced to fidget spinners by one of her younger cousins. What a great cousin. Once you go there, you never come back, right? She had been playing with the device while in bed when the accident occurred. I don't see this as an accident.
Maybe she fell on it or something.
No, bullshit. How do you put one under your ass right now, Stu, and sit on it? It still won't go inside you.
It won't go inside, exactly.
It's not a dangerous protruding object. It's rounded on every freaking side.
Now let me just demonstrate a little bit. So if she's holding like this, right? She's got the spinner.
The B cam here. Okay.
She's got the spinner, right? And say she's spinning it against her clit, right? So you're holding it, 2 fingers, and you're spinning it like this. And you're putting it against your clit. Just say my finger's the clit. It eventually stops.
Yeah.
Go like that. Spin it again. It's eventually going to stop.
Yeah.
It's called friction. It stops. How the fuck does it get lodged inside?
Just get a vibrator, for fuck's sake. They're cheaper. And I love these captions. I think sometimes they just write to fill space. Anyway, a family member of them declined to speak to the media.
Do you know what? I've just thought of a new thing we could come up with, because
Okay.
I was thinking she may have like adapted a vibrator and sort of done a sort of hybrid of a vibrator with a fidget spinner.
So it vibrates and spins at the same time. I get where you're going.
Exactly.
That has to be a pretty wide fucking vagina, though.
Yeah, we could do a startup. The Cave Crew Fidgi-brater.
No, we'll be in the lawsuits into our fucking
Fidgi-brater.
Fidgi-brater. I like that.
Fidgi-brater.
The Fidgi-brater. But wait, if you act now, you can buy it. You can get another one completely free.
Available in 7 different colors. Lifetime guarantee on all bearings.
The Fidgi-brater.
Yeah.
Dishwasher safe.
Dishwasher safe.
Brought to you by JBL.
Oh my God.
Apparently the woman was quite embarrassed by it all. As you can imagine, a family member, especially the media attention. Oh, the media is going to be all over this fucking shit. So here it is, folks. Here it is. Here's the answer to all her questions. She said she was playing with the toy in bed, and for some reason it struck her that it might be funny to see if she could use it to pleasure herself. In hindsight, it was a pretty stupid thing to do, but she tried spinning it near her vagina and to see if it. So she didn't stick it in. I don't understand how that fidget spinner must have been a freaking hybrid.
I don't get it.
And I'm not about to get my wife to try it, but This is one on this would be good on one of those Discovery Channel shows. How did they do that?
I think she just got a bit carried away with it all, and yeah, started to insert it rather than just flitter over the top.
And now here's the polite 54-year-old neighbor. See, this is why, folks, you always got to finish these fucking articles. Here's the 54-year-old neighbor. I just heard this God almighty scream coming from her house. So we rushed over and banged on the door. She let us in and was clutching her mid-regions. I asked her what's wrong. And she said she just choked out and said she needed an ambulance. Imagine telling your neighbor, I got a fidget spinner stuck in my hoo-ah.
Oh, God. This is where we've gone to as a society, people.
Okay, but I'm not done yet.
Oh, great.
Hang on. There's 2 more sentences I want to read you. This is one of the surgeons from the Canadian hospital. We tried a number of lubrication methods, but in the end, we were forced to make an incision to remove the device. It got in there somehow.
And it got far in there.
Could you just use tongs?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, she went to they went to the doctor, so they obviously they should have gynecological, fucking utensils there.
Yeah.
How far up was that thing? Like in her fucking uterus? Where the fuck did it go?
They don't have an X-ray or anything. Medical experts have urged the public to take care when playing with fidget spinners and not to use them for unintended purposes.
Oh, people are so fucking stupid.
Already a number of schools in Canada have banned them from classrooms. And that's because they get distracted. My son is not allowed to bring his to school as well.
Right. No, that makes sense.
I'm in a place for these toys, but they should never be used in a sexual context that can harm the user. This says the surgeon. Who other than this woman, do you think there's any? There's probably 1 million people going to try it tonight.
And that's on the lighter side of the number.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, there's probably women, maybe even men too. They might think, hey, this might feel good on the head of my cock. Till it breaks in 2. Or those ones that like the enemas, they may want to try it up the rear part. But anyway, folks, you never know where these stories are going to take us.
And you don't know if it was a standard size. I think it might have been a smaller one.
Even so, I know they spin fast. But like Big B just showed you in our attempt to myth this is that when it hits something, it stops immediately. And it did not hurt you, did it, Big B?
No, it's called friction. It happens. It stops.
So that fidget, the Fidgi-brater was on Viagra.
Oh, the Fidgi-brater.
The things we come up with. I don't know if I got anything else that's good. Oh, apparently also from Canada. I did see this story. It was posted by one of our friends in the Cave Crew Radio Facebook group. And I didn't know this. It is no longer illegal to challenge someone to a duel in Canada.
Well, thank God for that.
So here's a country that doesn't have guns. And I speak on expertise here, folks, because I do live here in Canada. And like I said earlier in the show, obviously we have guns, but they're illegal. The only ones allowed to carry guns is if you got a license to hunt or if you're a policeman or an army guy or whatever. So it says here that if you demand satisfaction and need to settle a score in the form of a good old-fashioned duel, a recent decision by the Canadian government may be welcome news. This week, the Ministry of Justice Attorney General of Canada, Jody Wilson, introduced legislation that meant to update and modernize the criminal justice system. I'm having a hard time believing this one. The proposed legislation would amend or repeal a number of provisions in the criminal code. Among those offenses that are no longer relevant or required today are challenging someone to a duel. And here's my question before we go any further. If I walked up to you in an alley and put out a switchblade and told you to give me my wallet, that's pretty much challenging you to a duel. Okay, people don't turn themselves back to back perhaps anymore.
Well,
but a fight is a duel.
Well, I have a question. If it's no longer illegal to challenge people to a duel, but firearms are illegal, what are you dueling with?
Fidget spinners.
Fidget spinners. Absolutely. Listen, apparent to our records here in Perth, Ontario, which is in the province I live in 1833 on June 13th was the last recorded duel. So that's saying, like, so if my neighbor doesn't trim his trees, I can go out with an axe and challenge him to a duel and get away with manslaughter and not even be charged.
But when you challenge somebody to a duel, you have to go out with the glove and slap them in the face with a glove.
Well, that's the...
That's how you challenge somebody to a duel. Then you have to do 10 paces with your guns, turn and fire. But if guns are illegal, what are you dueling with?
Okay, I'm really starting to believe, Mrs. Cotter, that these stories are not true because I click on a link and it, you know, they say see also.
Right.
York police are investigating a cane battle between two elderly females. Now, York, folks, is an outskirt of Toronto. It was a rowdy Tuesday morning in the York region. York police responded to a call regarding weapons and reports that two elderly females were fighting with canes near Bathurst and Center Street. Roughly 20 minutes into the call, police say the females ended their cane battle and parted ways. And there is actually an official tweet from the York Regional Police. Officers responding to weapons call report two elderly females fighting with canes in the area of... I got to start following Anaheim and York Police. You know, it always seems we get major disasters when you follow a police department. None of this fun stuff. Two women fighting with a fucking cane.
You gotta. I don't know if they still make them, but I'm assuming they do. But before there was social media, it was the cool thing to go by a scanner and tune in to the police, and listen to the police calls and what was going on. If we could get one of those on air, that would be great. And just monitor it throughout the show.
And it's funny that you bring that up.
Well, there's apps. There's loads of apps that do it.
That's what I was going to say. You can go. Well, I haven't tried on the phone, but on the laptop, you can search and you can get. You know, the fun. What they do now, though, if it's anything serious, they go to a private channel, right? But you might get a domestic dispute, or you can listen to the fire department, or you can listen to air traffic control.
Yeah. And there's usually lots of New York ones on these apps.
I used to have one, and the Windsor one was really boring. Pulled over a car with a taillight out. But you switch over to Detroit. There used to be car chases, all kinds of cool shit. Switching over to channel 11 now, and you're trying on your freaking scanner to find channel 11. And oh no, I had one of those too.
Oh yeah, I used to listen to it here. Like Stuart said, you know, there's a lot of New York channels and a lot of stuff goes on here in New York. So you listen to, like, you know, robbery in progress, you know, or car chase, like you said, or, you know, busting a drug dealer, whatever. You know, it was, you know, some interesting stuff.
Now, like I said, you live in both of you in bigger cities, but what's funny is when you're on there and they're running a plate and they'll name someone's name and it'll be a buddy of yours. And you're sitting there pissing yourself. But yeah, no, I used to have the scanner by me constantly, and even if I was watching like a hockey game or something, I'd have the scanner on.
Right.
I don't know whatever happened to that thing.
I'm assuming they got to still make them.
I'm sure it would still work.
I'm sure you can get them over here in a certain couple of stores. I've seen them in their little catalogs or whatever, their brochure that they send around.
Right.
But I used to lay in the bath listening to the radio, and when you used to go right at the end of the dial, we used to get the police sometimes, and then I found out that I'd linked into a neighbour's cordless telephone, and this was before digital.
You thought it was the police?
No, but she was always on the phone, so I used to lay in the bath listening to her talking to her mates.
So Stu was actually having an affair, not a physical affair. But you might as well have got yourself a pair of binoculars.
Oh, but I mean, you'd pick up stuff like, I remember when we would in the 90s when I was playing in the band, we practiced over by a highway. So every now and then in this one particular room, when we'd like take a break from playing, or we got done playing one song, we're talking about what song we're going to play next, you'd hear from cars passing on the highway, the fucking cab calls come through the amps. It would just pick up the radio frequencies.
That's strange. Anyway, but now you've got me in. Usually the show gives me nightmares, but I'm gonna put away all the negative things, and I think I'm gonna go to bed and try and find a scanner to listen to.
There you go.
I used to fall asleep to it. It used to be great fun. Again, like in my city, it was boring. You could go like 5 minutes between calls when you listen to it. But and that's what I was going to tell you, as soon as you turn it over to the Detroit police, so much shit was going on. You had to really pay attention. You'd have 10 different things going. Car 91, we got a carjack. Car 42, we got a liquor store robbery. Car 49, we got a murder suspect. And I'm sure New York's the same way.
It's the exact same thing. Yeah. It's very interesting to listen to. I would actually like to, because I'm used to, big city stuff. I'd like to hear a small town scanner just to hear some of the calls, and or if it's like completely dead silence for hours because nothing is happening.
I'll see if I can find something for you and send you. I mean, because it was actually pretty cool, because like on a Monday, Tuesday, you go to bed at like 11. Okay, we're talking years ago, Big D. I must have been 20.
Stu has one.
Evaluation from NBA, West Liberty Street, North J. Evaluation from NBA, West Liberty Street, North J. Armed forces on the scene at 2226.
Said armed forces on the scene?
Yeah, that's in Madison County's public safety or something. I don't know.
Can you send me the app, Stu?
Yeah, what is that? It's just called a place scanner.
Why did you bring your headphones to bed?
To what?
Because I'm listening to the police scanner. Facebook. And if you want, folks, we'll post it in the Facebook page, Cave Crew Radio, on Facebook. And we'll tweet it out, Cave Crew Radio. Okay. But I agree with you. We're running out of time here. But back to the small town, Big B, like a Monday or a Tuesday, it was scary in a way, because there'd be nothing. So you'd have the volume of the TV on. It might be 1 o'clock in the morning. All of a sudden you'd hear a voice. You'd think it's someone in the room. But on Friday and Saturday, it was really cool. There might be like 20 calls.
And I bet you most of them were drinking related.
Well, either a call to a bar or something, an accident, or a domestic. I remember the domestic.
Domestic
still on scene. And look, they don't take domestics lightly, because in domestics, what happens is what do you call the spouse may stick up for the other spouse.
Right.
Like, this is between us. I'm beating the shit out of my wife, and then it's like, what are you doing to my husband? He just knocked the crap out of me, but I love him to death, you motherfucker. I'm going to stab you with a butter knife.
And that's 100% true. That happens.
We had this, and trust me, they're not friends anymore. And they will, and Al in the chat room sending us links as well. So post it in the Cave Crew Radio group, Al. Anyway, where was I going with? Oh, so a long time ago, but they didn't really get physical. but they would fight, and they were actually good friends. And you would try to say something when you were like, say, I was talking to the husband, or my wife was talking to the wife or the girlfriend or whatever it was, and they would get so damn defensive, and you're like, I just witnessed, I just verbal abuse, right? Which is still bad, I guess, but yeah, they would turn on you. But you know what? My dad had a saying: what we talk about at our kitchen table stays at our kitchen table. See, my mom and dad used to gossip like fucks. But he knew I knew all the kids, right? And he'd fucking threaten me within an inch of my life. You say about this young man.
Yeah.
You won't have a roof over your head anymore. Anyway, kids, we all got early days tomorrow, I'm sure. We hope you've enjoyed this. We started out talking a little bit of terror and assassination attempts, but as always, we managed to recover into our true form. Well, that police has got to fall into this somewhere too. I've got actually a lot written down tonight. This is the time, folks, when we name the show. Anyone in chat, feel free to participate. If you're just listening, this is where you lose out because you can't help us out. Tonight, I will go to, let's go over to Big B tonight.
I wrote
paper here.
I wrote one thing down.
Yes.
Goofy geese poop.
Oh. Goofy geese poop. And see, I'm going to bring it over to me first, Stu, because I also wrote one thing down. I thought, if I was betting on the Academy Awards or something, I would have said the Fidgi-brater.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the goofy one, though, too. Fidgi-brater. I'm just writing these down. Over to London, England, listening to police calls.
Well, I did write Heavy Metal Fish Show.
Heavy metal. Oh, God, we're all over the place here. Heavy Metal Fish Show. And also in the chat room, we're getting the Fidgi-brater, except you spelled it different than I did. I had it in 2 words.
Yeah, Fidgi-brater. Yeah, I had Fidgi-brater as well. But
is that the right way to spell it?
Well, that's how I would say it.
Oh, okay. See, I had the actual Fidgi. Okay, so I spelled
Fidgi.
it wrong.
I put F-I-G-I, but
yeah, that's how I would spell it. Fidgi-brater.
Okay, so I'm going to number these, okay? And simultaneously, and we'll give you a vote in the chat room too. Hopefully you don't make a tie. 1, 2, or 3. You're just going to, again, hold up a number. We'll get a piece of paper. Number 1 will be Goofy Geese Poop. Number 2 will be the Fidgi-brater. And number 3 will be Heavy Metal Fish Show. I don't think we've ever had 3 really good ones like this. All right, hang on. All right. We'll give the chat room a sec. So number 1, just 1, 2, or 3. Goofy Geese Poop. Number 2 is the Fidgi-brater. Number 3 is the Heavy Metal Fish Show. Stu, did you write something down?
I did, yeah.
Okay, hold up your number. We're going over to number 2, the Fidgi-brater. So that is a vote. All right, over to me this time. Try to keep you guys guessing here. I voted, can you guys see this? Number 1. I don't know if it's showing up. There it is. Number 1. I did like the Goofy Geese Poop. We do have a vote in the chat for number 2, which is the Fidgi-brater. Big B, are you going to tie this up or? Oh, see, I went against my own and I lost. So now I want to get proper spelling. Is it Fidgi-brater?
No, Fidgi-brater.
Figi-brater.
Fidgi-brater.
All right, we got it. The Fidgi-brater is the episode number for number 21, folks. All right, kids. Apparently, we may have a podcast train coming around the corner. Is that true, Stu?
Well, all being well, All being well.
Okay. So Choo Choo Stu, folks, the host of the podcast Train. Lots of great episodes already on demand, including a phone sex operator and yours truly.
You should get a job on QVC.
Big B as a big guest. He's probably not going to let it out tonight, but a big surprise guest coming up on Metal Thunder Radio next week.
Next Tuesday, live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Metal World Radio, and also right here on Cave Crew Radio.
Now, any hint? We know what the show's about, but
we will be discussing the New Jersey Metal Fest.
Oh, okay. And we may have some giveaways, or
I don't know yet. I have to.
Okay, working on that. And of course, I can be found meandering all over social media, the Book of Face, Twitter. But my home is here at Cave Crew Radio every Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern. Please tell a friend about these 3 great shows. And as always, you guys got me so sidetracked, I got to cue up the ending. You think I'd have that queued? But you only have so many spots in Sam, right?
Oh, you can go endless.
Well, I have 4. Yeah, but see, I don't do I just use the players.
Yeah, but you can load your playlist.
Yeah, I guess you can. But I don't know what order we're going to talk about things.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can still put the end at the end.
Yeah, well, true. True enough. Anyway, folks, Cave Crew Radio. We'll see you next week.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!